Well, hello there, folks. How are you? It's Kenneth James Kerr once again, and thank you for joining me today in the video library. I do appreciate you being here today. And by the way, if you appreciate being here today, if you're enjoying these videos, then why don't you go ahead and say something in one of the forums in the community, or send me a quick private note and let me know. I'd love to hear from you as well. Now today, we're going to take a look at a very, very important vignette. You'll find it on page 25, I think it is. Yes, it is. 25 of the paperback, as he looks at his notes, and page 31 of the hardback. So as always, let's begin by reading the quotation at the top of the page. When the waves of fear, doubt, and worry come crashing to the shore of your mind, look for the lighthouse. Let me say it again. When the waves of fear, doubt, and worry come crashing to the shore of your mind, look for the lighthouse. Let's talk about the illustration itself. So let's imagine that you're walking on a beach somewhere. You're enjoying the day, you're enjoying the experience, you're just going through whatever it is that you would normally do, walking along that beach, and all of a sudden you become aware of the fact that the waves seem to be getting a little bit stronger, a little bit larger, a little bit more frequent. So you look out from the shore and you look out towards the water and you see a storm gathering out there over the water. And you begin to focus on it, you begin to look at it, you're seeing the clouds, you're seeing it getting darker, you can feel the wind perhaps on your face, and again you look at the waves and they're getting a wee bit bigger and they're getting a wee bit bigger, and at that moment something happens. You begin to feel something. What is it? You begin to feel a sense of fear. You begin to feel some doubt. You begin to feel some worry. And all of these feelings begin to wrap up in this overall concept of a growing level of anxiety. And the more you look at that storm, the more you look at it gathering on the horizon, the more you think about it, the more you focus on it, the more you look at it, the more you give attention to it, the larger it becomes in your mind. And the fear increases, and the doubt increases, and the worry increases, and you get yourself wrapped up in some kind of emotional and mental ball as the storm is out there on the horizon. And then at that moment, you look further along the shore. You take your eyes off the storm for a wee minute and you look along the shore, and over in the distance there's something that you've seen many times before, but for some reason you've not really focused on it, and it's a lighthouse. And you see that rotating beacon and you watch it. And you think about it, and you notice it, and you put your attention on it, and you focus on that, and the fear, the doubt, the worry begins to dissipate, and a level of calmness returns. Now, that's a fictional story, right? I mean, I made it up, okay? When I wrote the book, I made it up. I've never actually been in that situation on a beach, but I'm sure you can imagine it, can't you? Just like I can imagine it. It's a story we can relate to because it uses elements that we've all seen. I mean, we've all been on a beach. We've all seen a storm out at sea. We've all seen a lighthouse. We've all felt fear, doubt, and worry. So all of us can certainly relate to the story, even if we cannot say that has de facto been an experience point for point in our lives. But you know what? The subtleties of the story are incredible. Because you and I can not just relate to the different and disparate elements of the story, but more importantly, we can relate to the feelings that I'm talking about in the story. All of us have had times in our life when waves of fear have come to us. Doubts, worries, concerns, anxieties. These are things that are common to the human condition. These are things that you have experienced, and I can tell you right now, I have as well. We've all been there from time to time in our life. We can all relate to it. Every single one of us. Maybe you can relate to it right now. Now, I've said before in these videos, and I will say it probably till I'm blue in the face, we've just come through a period in Earth's history, the last 3 years or so, where fear, doubt, and worry have been seeded into the psyche of the human condition more than I have ever seen in my lifetime. Now, I know you can turn around and say, oh, but they were trying to keep us safe. All right, fine. But the way that they went about it was psychological torture, psychological terrorism. Fear, doubt, and worry seeded into the human condition every single day. Oh, this has happened. It's getting worse. 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 And look at what's happened in terms of mental health in our world today. So you might be now more open to fear, doubt, and worry in your life than you've ever been, because your mind has been opened up to it. And you have a tendency, perhaps a newfound tendency, to feel these things more than ever, to be more suspicious of conditions, more fearful of people, more doubtful over your future. And there's a predilection that has been formed, a pathway that has been formed in your mind for a greater propensity for fear, doubt, and worry. So maybe you can truly identify with that. And I think some people have to answer for creating that in our world. I really, really do. But that's another story. The thing is this, before I go down that rabbit hole and get angry at it in the process, the reality is that no matter what's happening in the world, here's the truth that you and I need to realize, and it's part of the subtlety of the story. When the waves of fear, doubt, and worry come crashing to where? To the shore of your mind. You see, no matter how much the media tried to scare us, the government tried to scare us, the health authorities tried to scare us, our neighbours tried to scare us, and everybody else tried to scare us, ultimately, fear, doubt, and worry are felt within. External circumstances might be a catalyst. Yes, like that storm in our story. You know, you're looking at that storm out at sea. It's out there on the horizon. But the fear, doubt, and worry happens inside. The fear, doubt, and worry isn't out there in the storm. It's not even there at the shore. It's not in the waves. It's not in the wind. It's inside. The outside situation is the catalyst for the inside situation. Why? Because it's how we're processing what's going on around us that creates and stimulates and encourages and keeps going the fear, the doubt, the worry. Again, look at the subtlety in the story. You're walking along the shore, you're doing fine, you look out there and you see this storm and you see the waves, and what happens? You start to question, oh, how big will those waves get? How serious could this storm be? How bad is it going to get? Oh, is there something I need to do to avert it? Oh, do I need to be worried about it? Do I need to be concerned about it? Oh my goodness me, look at this, the waves are getting bigger now. Oh dear. Look at the subtleties. The fear, the doubt, and the worry becomes greater than the stimulus itself. The waves haven't become a tsunami yet, except in your mind. Do you see the subtlety of the story? And again, do you see how that relates to what's happened the last 3 years in our world? Oh, there's this happened, it's going to get bigger and bigger and worse and worse and worse and worse, and it's terrible, and it's going to... Yeah. Fear, doubt, and worry, right into here, churn around in there, and get emphasized over and over and over again, and before you know where you are, it's greater than the condition we were worried about in the first place. You know, we are living in a situation now where we've got to heal, people. We've got to. We've got to heal. We have got to get a handle on it, because do you know what happens with fear, doubt, and worry? It becomes a habit. I know, because I suffered from anxiety for more than 20 years. I'm telling you now, I know how it works. I know how it feels. I know what it can do to us, because it becomes a self-empowering habit. Fear, doubt, and worry, self-propelling, self-fulfilling prophecies based upon what we think might happen instead of what is happening. Fear, that fight or flight response. We all know what it feels like to feel fear. It's not nice, it's nasty, it's horrible. Now, sometimes it's essential. Good Lord, if the saber-toothed tiger of old is right in front of you, you can feel fear, sure. You might want to run like heck too. But the trouble is, when fear opens up a pathway and becomes habituated in the mind, you start to fear things that are not yet present. That storm out on the horizon. Oh, it's going to come closer. Yeah, it might not. It might blow over. Oh, the next pandemic. Oh, it could come in 2025. Oh, yeah, but it might not. Oh, that little bump in my skin, it might be cancer. Yeah, but it might not. Oh, but if I lose my job, I might do this and I might do that and I might lose the car and I might lose my health. Yeah, but you might not. There's a difference between feeling fear in a situation and feeling fear of a potential situation that has not yet manifest, that is not yet present. And the subtlety in that story is that the storm is still out at sea. It's not here yet. Doubt. Oh, well, if this happens and if it does come in, I might not be able to handle it. There's the doubt, isn't it? And that brings its own fear. It might be more than I can handle. And along with that comes the worry. The combination of the fear of what might happen, the combination of the doubt that you might not be able to handle it ultimately, and it goes round and round and round in circles. Fear, doubt, worry. Well, when the waves, and it does come in waves, the waves of fear, doubt, and worry come crashing to the shore of your mind, look for the lighthouse. What is the lighthouse? Might be different in your life from mine. A lighthouse in the story does what? It distracts. The person's walking along the shore, they see that storm, they get worried about it, and then they turn their gaze away from the storm and they see something else that catches their attention. When fear, doubt, and worry is besetting you, when it's absolutely crushing you as it crashes to the door of your mind, please, right now, if that's happening, be aware enough to say, I have got to look for something else to focus on. Have the awareness. See, most people don't have that awareness, do they? Most people, when there's something bugging them, worrying them, concerning them, frightening them, what do? They focus on it all the more. Again, look how we did that the last 3 years. But that's not what you and I need to do when fear is crashing at the door of our mind. By all means, look at the situation and assess it. Yes, that's part of it. Is this true danger? Is this really, well, I'll keep a little bit of an eye on it. But in the meantime, wow, change your focus. Oh, there's this lighthouse over there. Yeah, I know there's a storm out there. I'll kind of keep one eye on that storm, but I'm not going to focus on it in fear, because there's this lighthouse. There's this lighthouse. Hey, look at that light. Oh, isn't that neat how it's turning round? And oh, look at it. It's like a fortress. It's so strong, and it's so stable, and it's a stabilizing influence. The stability of the light. Then look at the light. Focus on it with all your might. Maybe it's your faith. Maybe it's your faith. Maybe your faith in God is so great that you can turn your focus into your faith and realize that therein lies a stabilizing rock for your life. If you have faith, if you have a religious tradition that you follow and it has any form or kind of stabilizing influence for you, then for goodness sake, when the waves of fear, doubt, and worry come crashing to the shore of your mind, you pick up your Bible or your Quran or any other holy book that you follow and cherish and treasure, and get into it and get into those passages of ancient writ that encourage you, that uplift you, that build you up, that strengthen your soul, and do it with all your might. Maybe it's your philosophy. Maybe you're not specifically religious in a given tradition. Then get into your philosophy of spirituality, whatever it may be. Focus on meditation, quiet times, inner work, going within. Not going within to focus on the fear, doubt, and worry, but going within to move them aside as you focus on something that has a more stabilizing influence in your life. Maybe it's your friends. Maybe it's your family. The truth of the matter is that when fear, doubt, and worry come to us, and they will, we've got to have better coping strategies than to stand there and look at that storm and scare the hell out of ourselves with what might be. We cannot handle that which is not yet here. Therefore, we must focus on that which is here and have a better policy, have a better way of focusing and handling these elements of fear, doubt, and worry that can come upon us. When the waves of fear, doubt, and worry come crashing to the shore of your mind, look for the lighthouse. I don't know your individual situation today. Perhaps you are in a situation where you are going through fearful times, worryful situations, anxieties, pains. And yes, maybe they are external conditions, and yes, you do have to face those conditions, and you do have to work with those conditions and going through those conditions. Go through them every single day. Yes, I know that. And my prayer for you is that you will find the assistance that you need to do that. But maybe you are going through a situation where the fear, doubt, and worry is truly up here. Yes, it's been stimulated by something outside, but ultimately it's felt up here. It's stirred up here, and you keep it going up here because it has become so habituated that it's on automatic pilot. Again, I've been there. And even now, the waves can still come to the shore of my mind too. And I have to take my own advice and look for the lighthouse. And if that describes you too, my prayer is that you will find your lighthouse today and focus on it with all your might. This is Kenneth James Kerr, and I will see you in the next video.